Hey, all right, people, what's up? It's Friday. It's a nice rainy 56 degrees here, and I'm enjoying the day inside, which is really cool. Anyway, hey, I thought I would talk about something that a lot of people don't even, I think, fathom, especially when they're going through it, as I once upon a time had done, and that is spiritual abuse and resulting religious trauma. A lot of I think faith based people like to slam that as being a buzzword. And no, it's not. It's a real thing. Uh, as an example of what I mean by spiritual abuse that results in religious trauma, Christians might be going through this and not even having a clue that they're being abused. For example, when anyone in the church community, such as a pastor or other leader or even just a fellow member, tries to use fear, such as eternal damnation, robbing God because you're not paying your tithes, not complying with what the pastor or other leader has told you you need to do in order to be right with God. Um, all kinds of stuff like that goes on. And a lot of Christians, it seems to me, and I know I was in this situation where I didn't have the words to even understand that I was being spiritually abused. I didn't understand that what I was going through would cause religious trauma for years, longer than a decade. Um, it wasn't until I got therapy from a non religious therapist where I was actually able to get a grasp of what was actually happening and having some tools to help pull myself out of major depressive disorder, PTSD, suicidal ideation as a direct result of the spiritual abuse and religious trauma that I had experienced. My entire identity was wrapped up in having a relationship with what I thought was with God and realizing that that was a complete fictional entity in my brain, a figment of my imagination, much like Santa Claus, things like that. But anyway, if you are experiencing spiritual abuse, you're not alone. And I think it's healthy if you recognize what it is and start really questioning what's going on if your faith based leaders are abusing you spiritually. And it's okay to reach out and get help for that. Our mental health and emotional health is just as, if not more important than our own physical health. It's at least on par with it. And unfortunately, I know when I was a Christian, with my local organization at least, and maybe even regional location, we were not encouraged to seek therapy from non religious persons, but rather seek counseling from a pastoral shepherd. And on up the chain from there, I found that that did not work whatsoever. In fact, I think it made it worse. But something you might want to check into. Spiritual abuse is very real. Religious trauma is very real. Don't minimize it. I hope that you will get the care that you need. Love yourself. It's okay to do that. You know, one of the things I'm also reminded of is how belittling and how worthless some of our church leaders would make me feel because I wasn't in compliance with doctrine, not paying my tithes faithfully, 10% off the gross. How would they know anyway? It's not their business in the first place. That would be God's business, right? But anyway, I don't believe in God. I'm an atheist today. But it took me a long, long time to go from being a believer in God to becoming a deist to actually here fairly recently in the last few years becoming an agnostic atheist. I can't either prove or disprove the existence of God, and therefore I don't believe in any God or supernatural. I definitely am a skeptic and require evidence. And so far, that evidence for God is lacking. In fact, we have more evidence against God than for God, in my opinion. But anyway, that's enough about that. And anyway, again, hope you get the care that you need. And love yourself. And I wish you joy, peace, and love. All right? Take good care of yourself and take good care of each other. All right. Bye now.